So hello everyone, we're here to the Cradle to Cradle talks. I'm here with Janez Potočnik at our Cradle to Cradle Congress 2018. Janez, thanks for being here. We have already had the pleasure to listen to your talk. My question again to you, what does Cradle to Cradle really mean to you?
Cradle to Cradle, it's actually the cradle of the circular economics, which is a kind of a philosophy which I tried to push through the system when I was the member of the European Commission. It's actually creating a kind of a new economic system in which we would more responsibly think what to do with our resources, how to manage them, and how to create a world in which we could all live in a different, more sustainable way, in economic, social, and also environmental in particular.
And you were heavily involved personally by introducing legislation for that. Do you think it's enough for what we're having right now on legislation?
Certainly it's not enough. But as you know, in politics everything goes step by step. It was a good start. As you know, there was a certain moment where it was actually withdrawn. But at that moment, of course, I was not happy. But later on it proved, due to the reaction which came from a lot of stakeholders which were involved in the preparation of that piece of legislation, and which requested that it's put back onto the program, that this debate, which was actually a consequence of the withdrawal, was very useful. Because finally, after that debate, we have understood that this is not only environmental package, it's an economic package with good environmental and health consequences. And that understanding has broadened the number of stakeholders enormously, and that's essential for the change.
I would be interested in what you expect from the other stakeholders then.
Everybody to be as much active as possible. I firmly believe that pointing with the finger that somebody has to be the leader, it's not the right way. So in a way we all need to be leaders on our own level of responsibility, being in the civil society sphere or in the politics, in business, in investments, in academia, wherever. I think we all have to contribute whatever we can to that the change would happen. We talk about system change. We talk about not only change of the economy, which by itself, you know, it's a major task, but we talk about the societal and cultural change of the societies and the way how we perceive some of the things. Nobody actually talks that we should limit, we should approach to people and tell them limit consumption, limit that. But we can reorganize ourselves that some of those needs which we have could be satisfied in totally satisfactory different ways. And that's very much in essence of the cradle to cradle, it's very much in the essence of the circular economy. And I think it's simply the way to go. I firmly believe it's unavoidable, but we are not at the stage where everybody would understand that's unavoidable. That's why it's important to push.
Yeah, regarding the understanding, there's over 700 volunteers engaged in our work at Cradle to Cradle Association. Is there any advice you could probably give to them?
Yeah, they are like apostles, you know. So here inside the room, inside this community, it's not difficult to persuade people because they would not be here if they would not believe. So we need to go out. We need to talk to the people who they do not believe, who do not understand, who do not have yet the knowledge, who have not yet been educated enough, who are not where awareness is not on the high level enough. And that should be, of course, the role also for that 700 volunteers, because I've been in too many congresses where I see the same faces. And it's really, really important that we broaden the base, that we create a critical mass, that we use all possible social media pressures and so on, that these things would become essential part of the logic also of the policymakers, but not only policymakers, also other institutions like financial institutions and so on, which are to a certain extent still falling in short-term minded way of how they are organizing their business and making their decisions.
Dr. Janez Potočnik at the Cradle to Cradle Congress 2018. Thank you very much, Janez.
Thank you.